Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by Sure Crop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
Good morning and welcome back to Farm Factor. I'm your host, Conrad Kabus. Westar Energy brings Kansas its electricity, and their company is developing a new and exciting way to harness wind energy. Westar tries to be a friendly neighbor and help producers and consumers as much as possible.
Well, I think initially when we look at a project, if we decide to own it, we're out there talking with the landowners early on in the process. And we want to work with them to be good neighbors, so to help them to know better about their farming practices so we don't interfere or interfere as little as possible, and just be a good neighbor for them. And if we look at the developers, if they're having a wind project that they would like to sell to us, that they've also engaged the local farmers to make sure they're not impacting them any more than necessary.
Westar tries to educate students and consumers about wind energy. The reason wind energy isn't widely used now is because of some drawbacks to the system, but it continues to be one of the most clean energy sources in the state. For that reason, many companies and schools are on board trying to engage students and engineers in finding new ways of harnessing its energy.
We've got some programs with schools where we're teaching our youth about wind energy. It's called Wind Energy for Schools, I think. Actually, it's we're working with K-State on this. We've installed small wind generators at a number of different schools across the state. Gives students kind of an idea of how wind energy works and when it doesn't work, so that it's not a continual source of energy. There's some drawbacks to it, but there's also some positives. And that's what we try to explain, not only to households, but to every customer, is having a broad range of energy sources is important, because there's no silver bullet anymore. We have to have all of the above.
For consumers, the most important thing is to watch their consumption of electricity, whether it be unplugging the charger from your phone after it's charged, or even getting rid of incandescent light bulbs and switching to LED. It can be even as simple as turning off the light when you leave the house. Simple tactics like this have shown to make major impacts on the grid overall.
Definitely people will use more electricity, but I think also they'll be more efficient with its use.
Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.